What is up, guys? William here from fitnessforbackpain.com. Really excited to talk about the hanging leg raise today, whether you're doing the straight leg hanging leg raise or the knees to chest or toes to bar or whatever version of the leg raise that you prefer to do. I want to make a case that if you have low back pain, sensitivity, post-fusion, herniations, bulges, surgery, whatever your situation might be, that you should probably stop doing the hanging leg raise, especially if your workouts are causing more pain. If you go into a workout feeling okay, you leave the workout feeling like crap, then we gotta start dissecting what you're doing in the gym, the exercise choices that you're making, and we're gonna pick on the hanging leg raise today. We're gonna go with some pros, we're gonna go with some cons, and then we're gonna go with 2 exercises that you should be doing if you wanna give up the hanging leg raise, what you should do instead. 2 exercises that you can do right now or in your next workout that's great if you want to continue to do core training and not do the hanging leg raise. And guys, if core training is a thing for you, right? You're trying to build a stronger core, more endurance, more coordination, you're trying to build strength around your spine, and you're like, dude, like every time I try to do specific core exercises, I always get in pain. If that's you, if you want to know how to train your core smart, like what you're going to learn in this video today, grab my core blueprint, right? It's my free PDF guide you can grab, watch it, add it to your program. I show you how to break down all the aspects of core training specifically for post-fusion, post-surgery, or just persistent low back pain, herniations, bulges, ruptures, whatever. Get it at fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint. What I'm talking about today is gonna make so much more sense, and you'll be able to apply everything I talk about to every single core exercise that you do in the gym after you read that guide. fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint. So why is the hanging leg raise not the best, most ideal situation for someone who has a sensitive low back? Well, one of the reasons why I think it's an instigator of pain is the repetitive flexion and extension that happens during hanging leg raise. Or again, you can apply this to the toes to bar or the knees to chest. There's lots of variations to the hanging leg raise, and depending on which style of working out you do, like CrossFit, it'll be more aggressive and probably worse for you because of the way that you do it, okay? So the flexion and extension aspect to it, when you are hanging from the bar and you're bringing the legs up, the higher you go, the more of a crunch you're gonna get and the more activation in the core you're gonna have. So we're encouraged to really kind of emphasize that knee to chest or that toes to bar, whatever that might be. What's happening in your lower back is you're going into that forced flexion. Flexion is not dangerous. Flexion is nothing wrong with flexion. Our body is designed to flex the spine. But what happens is when you are a highly sensitive and you're irritated and more flexion is making it worse, this type of exercises, yes, it may make your core stronger. The same thing goes with the extension aspect. As you come down, typically, sometimes people will let their legs swings back to gain some momentum, quote unquote, CrossFit style, or you might just have more control. Maybe you're a master, a zen of form, right? And your technique is spectacular. Odds are you're still gonna have some level of extension. The average person who's watching this video is not a master of form. You just go in and do it. As you get to that end of the rep range that you're trying to follow, you get more and more tired, you get more and more reckless, and that's where pain is birthed when it comes to sensitivity. So if you're looking at it from a flexion and extension tolerance perspective, this is why I'm not a fan of the leg raise. If you are flexion or extension intolerant, or both, or one or the other, this exercise is going to emphasize that. Regardless of how you do it, it's gonna emphasize those intolerances. So if you're not careful, this can be a trigger for you, and you'll have a low undergrade pain level that you'll never be able to shake, you'll never be able to figure out because you continue to do things like the hanging leg raise. Next major reason why I'm not a big fan of the hanging leg raise, or knees to chest or toes to bar, whatever you want to call it, is the decompression or the stretching it does on the lower back. Oftentimes when you are highly sensitive, your body is already responding to the protection mechanism, like your body wants to protect that area, so it's going to clamp down and tighten to protect what they have there. That's a natural occurrence, subconscious, that kind of happens. So when you are hanging from this bar for the 15, 25, 30, 45 seconds, however many seconds it takes for you to crank out 10 to 15 reps of your hanging leg raise, you're hanging, right? You're going from a contracted to a relaxed, to 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 a contracted to a relaxed. You keep doing that, and ultimately what you're doing is getting a lot of movement in that lumbar spine. Again, it goes back to sensitivity, it goes back to irritation, it goes back to what your tolerance is. And hanging, putting a constant stretch, and then flexion and extension is going to be an irritant for you, period. So if you're hanging intolerant, like you can't manage a lot of stretching on that lower back because it causes pain, whether it be hanging from a bar and doing it or doing it any other way, inversion table or traction at a clinic, if those types of things cause you irritation, well, when you jump on the bar and hang and start doing hanging leg raises, you're repeating that same pain trigger, therefore keeping that area highly sensitive, and it's gonna be constantly in pain. One more point to the hanging leg raise I'm not a fan of is most people are reckless. By nature, we're reckless, right? We think about at the first 5 to 6 reps, we're like, go slow, take deep breaths, control what we're doing. Look at me, personal trainer, my form is perfect. But then you get to like 6th, 7th, 8th, and those last 2 reps of your set, and you're just like, bump this, I just wanna get it over with. And you're just cranking it out, or you're on the other spectrum and you're completely reckless as in like, I just love to feel abused when I work out. I like to be done, be smoked, be absolutely beat down. So you push yourself and push yourself and push yourself. For those of you who love to push yourself and to feel beat up, to feel like you got a great workout in, you have to be mindful of these choices that you're making. So due to this recklessness, we kind of take an approach to the hanging leg raise like do or die, right? Like take no prisoners kind of thing. And it's that mentality that gets people in trouble, especially if you have a sensitive low back, if you have a history of exercise-induced back pain. It's exercises like this that when you apply the recklessness that our human nature tends to have when it comes to pushing ourselves in the gym, it's not a good combination. It's like oil and water, right? You can shake it up like you do in salad dressing, but at the end of the day, it's gonna separate. It's not gonna be good. They don't blend well. And that's how you have to look at it. You gotta look at it like long-term, what's the best option for me? Short term, sure, I can get this workout done. These exercises I can push through and have a stronger core and look good and blah, blah, blah. Long term, you're gonna be in pain. Long term, you're gonna be dealing with sensitivity and you're not gonna know why it is because, hey, I'm in the gym and I'm working out. So what exercises can you do instead of the hanging leg raise, toes to bar, knees to chest, whatever you're doing? What exercises do I suggest you do in place of it? You say, hey, I know it's calling for hanging leg raise. I want to do something more spectacular. This, my friends, is a spectacular combo of exercises. It's one of the 2 of my favorite ones that I have. And you can do these, you can do them back to back. You might be smoked as far as like supersetting them, or you can just do one, do some sets of it, and then your second exercise can be what I'm gonna show you as far as the second exercise go. And one of them is the kettlebell leg drop. You can do these, if you're more advanced, you can go full leg drops with both of your legs at the same time. Or if you're kind of more beginner, highly sensitive, you can do single leg drops, and I'll show you how what these look. So the kettlebell leg drop, what I'll do is I'll grab a kettlebell that fits my fitness level, bring it up, okay? Before I initiate the legs moving, I like to bring the kettlebell out over my face. Just in case I drop it, I smash the moneymaker. Now, but for real, as I'm bringing it out, what that's gonna do is I'm forced to bring my ribs down and keep those locked in, or I'm gonna be super flared way out here and my ribs are all flared. So I like to bring it out and also work on bringing the ribs down, keeping that low back flat, not smashed flat into the ground, in that neutral and bracing around that. So the kettlebell's in place. I'll bring the knees up, single leg, one at a time, looks like this. All right, so you can do it without break, where I'm doing it more like a bicycle kick, or you can do here, here. That's a great variation. If that's too intense, you can do heel kicks or heel drops. If you're more advanced, you can go with the more traditional leg drop, again, focusing on keeping your ribs pinned down, core braced, low back doesn't have to be flat against the ground, neutral to you, but there's a strong brace around that neutral. You have to find what that is for you, okay? So I'm here, come in, knees bent, not trying to do this, back is flat, going out. Just like that. Now, the second exercise is the ceiling press. Basically, I'm gonna have my kettlebell, I'm gonna push up here. So all this is what's really being engaged here. I'm not trying to do a sit up. I'm not trying to like force my way up, but it's a controlled press, press, press straight up, okay? I'll grab my weight, hold it over my head. I'm not pressing out over my knees. I'm pushing straight up. Down. Lots of variations of the ceiling press. You can come up, hold it for 7 seconds, 4 seconds, whatever you want to do, or you can just focus on doing the reps. That is the ceiling press. So both of those two exercises are great options to swap out when it comes to navigating or trying to figure out what you can do outside of the hanging leg raise. Again, I'm not a fan of it. I've got a pretty strong core. There's tons of exercises that I choose to do on a daily, weekly basis, and I haven't done a hanging leg raise in years as far as being programmed into my workout as an exercise I want to actually use. And I live chronic pain-free. I'm not in pain anymore, and I still choose not to do it because I don't see a reason to do it. There's just so many more exercises that you can pick that will give you a better experience in the gym, a better experience with your pain relief strategy that I would just suggest that you focus on the most. Thanks again for watching, guys, and make sure if you have not picked it up yet, get that free gift. If you're into core training, you're trying to figure out what the best way of core training is for someone who has post-fusion, post-spinal surgery, herniations, bulges, ruptures, back pain, whatever your situation might be, you want to use core training the correct way with tips like we talked about today. Check out my free guide. It's my core blueprint. You can go to fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint. I break down all the tips and tricks when it comes to core training for low back pain or post-surgery that you need to see. If you train your abs in the gym and you have sensitivity in your lower back, you've got to check out this core blueprint. I show you exactly the way you should be training your core, the exercises you should be picking, and how you should be programming your core workouts into your workout, your full-blown workout. fitnessforbackpain.com/core blueprint.